Broadcasting live from the command tower on the plane of
Zendikar.
This is Tap Tap Concede.
All right, got there.
I think that worked.
Yeah,
goodbye, everybody. Every plane has its own command tower, surely.
Probably.
Surely. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the plane of Shirley.
Yeah, we haven't gone there yet, but maybe someday. I'm Graham.
I'm Cameron.
I'm Nelson.
And today we're going to talk about a couple different things here on Tap Tap Concede. And before that, of course, we'll crack a pack. And before that, I'm going to remind you that this show is brought to you by Card Kingdom and our friends there. And check out cardkingdom.com/LRR if you want to buy any magic on the internet, because that's where we do it, because they're great.
Cardkingdom.com. If they were in charge of this intro, it would have been faster.
Probably. Oh, yeah, because they're very fast. Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, they would have gotten
good.
out the door in a couple of seconds.
Yeah. And of course, this show and everything we do is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/LoadingReadyRun, or by becoming a member here on YouTube if you are watching the video version on YouTube.
YouTube memberships.
Yeah, we added those recently, and they are another channel by which to support us directly. And if you choose to do that, thank you so much. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Arena. We're going to talk a little bit about the LGS as a concept. All the updated information. Well, I say all the information. An amount of information related to changes to the judge program and the Judge Academy has come out in the past week, and we're not yet at the point where we feel we can talk about it.
Yeah.
From an educated perspective, partially because they had FAQs come out on 4 different websites that didn't answer a lot of questions. And I think you said before we started rolling that we'll wait until the takes have cooled off to merely searing.
Yeah.
And then we'll discuss.
And I mean, there might be some kind of meta commentary possible on the fact that, it's been a week.
Yeah.
And we have no idea what's going on. That's probably not great. But yeah, we're going to let it sit for a while.
One of the hottest takes I saw was a fellow judge just complaining about the announcements era that we're living in, where it's just because he found out at the Pro Tour or the Mythic Championship that there'll be an announcement on Monday, and then on Monday it's we have most of an announcement, we have the broad strokes of this announcement, but we're still working it out, and we want to be transparent, but we don't know. We don't have all the answers. It's just playing with my emotions here so much, right? Yeah.
So that's why we're not going to talk about it today.
You were about to watch the trailer for this film.
Just keep me in the dark longer, I'm sure, was that judge's sentiment.
So let's start with Crack-A-Pack. You want to roll the big dice? The big die, rather? Goodbye.
Oh,
Goodbye
I failed at the modest task that was my goal. 17.
Do I have 17 packs? 6, 8, 10, 12. I mean, we have 17 packs.
All right.
But
Perfect.
it's just...
let's open them all.
I don't know where they're not all in this box. And...
Reroll. No?
That's
What do you think?
these are all... None of these are magic packs. So I guess I'm just going to go to the end of the line.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
So this is a pack of Conspiracy Take the Crown.
Oh, sweet. Hopefully it has Throne of the Black Rose in it.
Oh, that would be handy, yeah. This was from Thomas and the 3-Player Politics podcast at PAX West 2016.
Tune into the VOD of FNPF for August 2nd and find out if there was a Thorn of the Black Rose in this pack.
Yeah. First up, Fiery Fall. 5 and a red for an instant. It deals 5 damage to target creature and has basic land cycling for 1 and a red. Always generally fine.
Yep.
Particularly in this format. 6 mana instant to kill something is expensive, but you can also land cycle it. And sometimes you just need to kill something. So
I had sort of 2 problems with this in Conspiracy. One was really expensive for killing one thing, and that you did have access to sweepers pretty regularly. The other was just, I actually was always worried about my draw step causing me to lose the game in pretty much every Conspiracy draft I've played. It doesn't always happen, but regularly you're just I don't want to mill out, and if you thin your deck, there's a slightly higher chance you mill out, right?
It's true.
I think didn't we sort of coalesce on running 43 cards in Conspiracy?
I think so.
Just because you do sometimes mill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stromkirk Patrol is next. 4 and a black for a 4/3 vampire soldier, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Sure.
Unimpressive.
Yep.
Wow, I forgot about this card. Jeering Homunculus is 1 and a blue for an 0/4 that definitely looks like it's flipping someone off. And when it enters the battlefield, you may goad target creature, which is until your next turn that creature attacks each combat if able and attacks a player other than you if able.
I love the idea of, because a homunculus is like a magical creature created by a wizard or something, right? So there's a wizard who's like, I want to flip off and insult so many people that I just don't have time to do it all myself.
Yeah.
I need to invent a creature to do it on my behalf.
And the Jeering Homunculus is like the product of like 4 years of this wizard's work.
And I love how Micklethid here is just like at a clip. Like he's got places to be.
Oh yeah,
right?
He's just steamrolling through that cloud.
Yeah, has he
Or
thrown those
through that
tomatoes
crowd.
and squashes and then already caught up to them? Like, is that
just
what's
like,
going on there?
F you.
Oh, where do you think you're going? F you too.
Yeah.
He's the evil Fibblethwip.
Yeah.
It's like the evil cousin.
Good old Micklethid. I had forgotten about him completely. Kiln Fiend, a reprint.
Hey, Kiln Friend.
Yeah. 1 and a red for a 1/2 elemental beast, and whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, it gets +3/+0 until end of turn.
Love this card.
This dog is on fire.
Yup. Menagerie Liberator is 3 and a green for a 3/2 human warrior with trample, and melee, which is whenever this creature attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each opponent you attacked with a creature this combat. So, on his own, in a 1v1 game, he attacks as a 4/3 with trample. And if you're in a multiplayer game and you're attacking 2 different opponents, then he gets +2/+2. And if you attack all 3 opponents, this is assuming that you're in a normal 4-player conspiracy game. Then he gets +3/+3.
Yeah, this guy's ready to face God and walk backwards into hell.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's long for the world, right? That was like, so I had someone over my house. I had a couple of these on the floor the other day because they were in a box I let my kids play with, and somebody had the hot take of just like, this guy's not going to be alive very long. Right?
Yeah, he's made a terrible mistake.
He doesn't have trample. He gets trampled.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think the tiger's going to be like, no, that guy can live.
Yeah, thank you for saving me, human.
Thank you for saving me.
Yeah. He looks like he's messed up something fierce, but also neat vegan eco-terrorist magic card. Pretty rare, right? He's busted into the zoo and he's broken all the animals out.
Ballot Broker is next. 2 and a white for a 2/3 human advisor, and while voting, you may vote an additional time. And the vote can be different choices.
Huh.
Which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
If you want
Good with Counsel's judgment.
If you want to deadlock something. Oh, that's true, yeah. Well, it's you don't even have to. It's a may. You may vote an additional time.
There you go.
So, cool. Well, seems irrelevant outside of conspiracy, but that's fine.
I mean, it does give you, if you're in a 2-player game, it gives you access to the other side of, or if the vote is tied cards.
That's true.
Right? Like if you say you want to use your Corrosive Portal in a 2-player game to actually blow up all the permanents, maybe get this permanent on the board blown up too. And
Good
then
point.
you do it. Yeah.
I'm so glad that this name got to happen. It's Garbage Fire.
Yeah.
2 and a red for an instant. Reveal Garbage Fire as you draft it, and note how many cards you have drafted this draft round, including Garbage Fire, and it deals damage to target creature equal to the highest number you noted for cards named Garbage Fire. So if it's your first pick in a draft round, it's 1 damage. So probably not great, but this could theoretically do as high as 15. It won't, but it could theoretically do as high as 15 if you last pick it out of a pack.
I got my first one up to 11.
That's unreasonable. Wow, all right.
It was a good pack, I guess.
Yeah.
What's the lowest you would take a Garbage Fire?
3.
3?
Yeah.
I also
every now and then you play that card in limited, right?
Yeah. It's, what was it? It was reprinted recently.
Or no, you pick it first and second if you have one that you picked 10th.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
but like the
But the first Garbage Fire, yeah.
Yeah, you want it. You want
Never-
at least 3.
Don't pay 3 mana for 2 damage. That's
Yeah.
That's a sad
I also
move.
love how it has
Just play an
the
extra land.
The artwork is the iconic garbage, like the how the international symbol for groceries is like a baguette and carrot greens sticking out of a brown paper bag.
Yeah.
The international symbol for garbage is like a fish skeleton and an apple core.
Yeah, I love that. It's really good. We've talked a lot in in over the course of Loading Ready Run about sketch comedy shorthand, right? Of just like that it's like anywhere in like mid 1900s, right? Like the 1940s through 1970s. If you got business people or whatever, it's like white collared shirt, suspenders, sleeves rolled up, right? It's like, all right, get me the
Johnson account.
The Johnson account, exactly.
Right.
And that could be anywhere. That's practically timeless. That look, right? And it's like this is the sketch comedy shorthand for these are businessmen having like an intense meeting, right? So we deal with that a lot. And yeah, you're right. I love it. Fishbone apple core. It's great. Voyaging Satyr is next. 1 and a green for a 1/2 Satyr Druid, and you tap it to untap target land. Cool. Good stuff. Sinuous Vermin.
Oh yeah.
1 and a black for a 2/2 rat horror. I get it. Oh, that art is really, really good.
But also the word sinuous, doesn't it just mean like muscly?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a beefy rat, but the art is telling us it's like a weird.
Well, it is, yeah. So it's a 2/2 for 2, so it's just a bear.
Yeah.
But then it has, for 3 black, Monstrosity 3, so it becomes a 5/5, and if it's monstrous, it has menace.
Yeah, it does.
So
yeah, absolutely it does.
Yeah, once you follow that tail back to the rest of the body.
So is it just like using a rat as like a little lure?
I think that's part of it. Like, I think that's part of its body. I don't know. Maybe the rat...
But it's like an angler fish sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Sorta,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, look, come get this delicious rat.
Yep.
Delicious rat.
Kite Sail. 2 mana equipment. The equipped creature gets +1/+0 and has flying, and equip cost is 2. Always mediocre. Custody Soul Caller is 1 white for a 1/2 human cleric with melee. And whenever it attacks, return target creature card with converted mana cost X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the number of players you attacked with a creature this combat. Whoa. Okay, so if you have 3 creatures, and you send each of those creatures at a different opponent,
You get a Sun Titan trigger, right?
then you get, yeah,
Or no?
Yeah.
mana cost 3 or less.
Just a creature, though.
A creature, yeah.
Exactly.
That seems good.
Yeah, and then you can always
it's
say, "Hey, I didn't mean to attack you. I just
Yeah.
need to do it
I just
in
have
order
to
get a 3-drop back."
There's
which
definitely
is
some-
Fiend Hunter, by the
Yes.
way. It's Fiend Hunter. It's
Also
nothing
targeting
personal.
your creature,
Yeah.
This guy requires a lot of setup.
I was going to say.
And then he's a 4/5 when he's attacking, too, in that situation.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Because he has to be one of the people who are attacking.
Yeah,
He's
exactly,
attacking,
yeah.
yeah.
Dismiss is 2 blue for counter target spell, draw a card.
This is just a good card.
Yeah. It's just good. I forgot this was in the set. Deceiver Exarch
Another good card.
is 2 and a blue for a 1/4 with flash, and when it enters the battlefield, you may untap a target permanent you control or tap target permanent an opponent controls. I forgot it was templated like that.
Me too.
Interesting.
And it's super relevant for this set. It's a little disappointing they didn't just throw in Pestermite instead, because it's kind of fun to untap other people's blockers,
Yeah.
right? You know?
Our rare is Salvala's Stampede. Speaking of people running with a bunch of creatures behind them, she also has a tiger, by the way, and an elephant, though I feel like they understand her a little bit better than maybe the other guy. It's a sorcery with Counsel's Dilemma. Starting with you, each player votes for wild or free. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card for each wild vote. Put those creature cards onto the battlefield, then shuffle the rest into your library. You may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield for each free vote. So it's like I was gonna try and compare it to like Tooth and Nail or something, but no,
Yeah.
it's its own wonderful thing.
It's kind of like Tooth and Nail meets Polymorph a little bit, right? Like
It's-
Show and Tell. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting, rather than having I guess that was a Take the Crown thing, rather than have like them being votes. Each counts separately. Like, it's not an all or nothing thing.
Yeah. And so you're basically playing chicken with your opponents to be like, how many, do you, my opponents, think it is safer for me to try to empty my hand? Like, do you think I'm out of gas in hand after casting this 6 mana sorcery? Or do you think I'm less likely to hit on revealing cards from the top of my library? I like this too, because it's like you probably have, when you're casting this, you probably have one very expensive creature in your hand that you're ready to deploy. So like at worst you get that. I assume.
Yeah,
it'd be kind of more fun if they had to vote first, right?
Yeah,
so that
but
they don't get to read you. But
yeah, if you cast this and vote free, I think I'm also voting free.
Right.
Yeah, because how many cards can you possibly have in hand when you're casting your 6-mana sorcery, right?
Maybe quite a few, but like,
yeah, I feel like if I cast free, then everyone else goes, yeah, ooh, yeah. So maybe you vote wild, just so that your opponents think you have nothing and vote free, so you get the oh.
You're right. It is a pretty interesting little shell game, isn't it?
So you might even call it a dilemma.
Aha.
Yeah.
We have a token, of course, which is the Monarch token with the typo, so that's fun. At the beginning, your end step, draw a card. And Natural Unity is our Draft Matters card. It is a conspiracy, and I don't know if it pops up on the overlay, but it's a hidden agenda. So you start the game with this conspiracy face down in the command zone, secretly name a card, and you may reveal it at any time. Creatures you control with the chosen name have... At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay green. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So that seems pretty strong, actually.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, these conspiracies were all a little bit weaker than their first set counterparts, but they're still decent. Yeah.
I mean, I felt that they the first set's conspiracies were very kind of conservative, and like had very simple effects. Like one, you get a +1/+1 counter on all the things.
Yeah, they have
it's a Squadron Hawk effect, or they tap for mana. And in Take the Crown, I felt they got a little more creative because they had a better handle on what they could and couldn't do with it.
I still fondly remember from that conspiracy video that we made for Wizards that it was everyone's first time doing it, and Marshall was like, "Wait, I can just take these and they don't count towards my deck, so I basically just get like free picks that like aren't in my deck, but that I still play." That's awesome. So he ended up with like a ton of conspiracies and like almost not enough playables.
Yeah, I always take almost every conspiracy I see. Like I have to talk myself out of it if I can't think of a use for the conspiracy at all. Maybe I'll pass it, but only if it's pack 3. I'll just take the conspiracy and try to do something with it.
Yeah,
because it's just so valuable to get those extra effects.
So, Magic Arena. Bring conspiracy to Arena. No. How's that been going? You, Nelson, you wanted to talk about what you want to see out of Arena.
Well, I mean, it's things we've talked about before. We've had a like what do we want to see episode. I remember James specifically mentioning that he'd like to see private draft room in Arena.
That'd be cool,
right? And it's just I'm having a bit of an ennui. I guess I'm having a bit of a like, 7-year itch with Arena. It's only been 1 year, right? I've only even been playing since Guilds of Ravnica was released, or just before. I played some M19, but yeah, I feel like when's the release date going to get announced? We're still in the Arena beta. Thousands or millions of us have given all this money to a beta of a game.
I think I heard rumors that it was going to be the fall.
Oh, really?
I think. I don't think it's actually been hard confirmed. I could be wrong in that, but
yeah.
Some new stuff that they have said is coming to Arena. Brawl.
Okay.
Yes. Finally, actually. Which I think will make people... It'll make me play Brawl.
I'm so surprised and weirded out. I thought they just let Brawl die because I didn't think I'd seen much support for Brawl since a year ago when they announced it.
Yeah,
2 years ago? When did we play Brawl? We played Brawl at F&P, if I remember.
Yeah, it was
I don't think James Turner has talked to me since then, actually.
I mean, I was really surprised when Brawl wasn't supported on Arena because it seemed like a natural fit for
I think everybody was.
It seemed like it had been kind of engineered for Arena.
And
like, obviously, we won't get Commander on Arena.
Yeah.
Sure.
But, hey, what about this format that uses the cards available in Arena to play a Commander alike?
Right? Yeah, it seemed like a no-brainer, and especially when they kept bringing back the standard singleton event, which people really, really liked.
Yeah.
Right? And so, I just want to be able to play Brawl anytime. So, once they implement the command zone, then you can just play Brawl on Arena. And I think having Brawl available on Arena will help. I think it'll help revitalize Brawl on paper as well.
Just since we haven't, or people haven't really talked about it much before, you want to
what is Brawl?
Yeah, what is Brawl?
That's a good point. It's been a while. So
it has been a while.
Brawl is a format that Wizards introduced just before Dominaria, and people were like, "Oh, that seems cool," and then it didn't. Like, not a lot of people really played it.
It did kind of catch on right away. A bunch of people did sort of play it, but then there were like events scheduled for it, and then they didn't fill up or whatever, and like it maybe just didn't exactly have a place. Like it seemed like it kind of had a little flash in the pan, right?
So it's sort of like, well, like we said, sort of standard Commander. 60 card decks, like standard. You can only play cards that are in standard, but you also have a commander that sits in the command zone, much like Commander. It's intended to be 1v1, correct?
I thought it was supposed to be 1v1 or 4 player.
I guess you could do either.
I've only played a 1v1.
Life total is...
I think it's just 20. No? Is it 30?
I think it's 30. It's 30. Yeah, life total is 30.
So it's come out, and no one's played it after having played it for a week. No one's played it for long enough that we're having a tough time remembering all the rules.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it might get interesting now that M20 had a lot of weirdo cards in it.
Yeah.
Right? That could make it at least less of standard without the consistency kind of format.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I like the idea of a commander kind of thing. So here, it's kind of funny. I was very much into when there were rumors about what this new format they were introducing might be, and there was someone had surmised that it was going to be singleton standard, right? I was because of course I hang out with everyone around here who plays Highlander, and I do not have that kind of buy-in. I was like, oh, standard singleton, that would be sweet. I would totally play that. And then they announced it, and it was like standard singleton with a commander, and I was like, oh, I actually don't want that. Like I was like, I did not want that, and I've loved standard singleton on Arena. I've come back around to it now, and I'm sort of like, yeah, actually, the idea of standard legal commander, I do like, because we had Shivam on the show a couple weeks ago and sort of talking about the problem with trying to regulate this format, right? With just all these super powerful cards and degenerate combos from the history of Magic, and trying to sort of regulate how you handle what people consider fun and what your play group considers an okay card to have in your thing, and being able to just be like, no, it's just what's in standard. You just do that. And obviously from their perspective, having commander rotate makes business sense. That's irrelevant. I'm talking about just actually playing it. I'm into the concept, but I'm not gonna put a deck together to play on paper, because it's the same reason I don't play standard or modern. It's just I just don't play constructed on paper. This is a me problem. But on Arena, I will definitely play Brawl.
You can have any legendary creature or planeswalker.
Yeah,
also, as your commander in Brawl. I don't know if we mentioned that, but that's one of the rules.
I did forget to bring that up. Yeah.
And there's Planeswalker.
Yeah, all the Planeswalkers are allowed to be all the legendary Planeswalkers.
Yeah, rather than the specific ones.
War of the Spark, huh?
Yeah.
And there's no commander damage.
Right, because commander damage is a bad idea.
It is also it's 30 if you're playing multiplayer for life total, and 25 if you're playing heads up.
Oh, okay.
Cool. I didn't remember that.
Yeah, I'm just...
Thank you for the clarification. I forgot that as well. Everyone, please hold your comment, or go back and edit your comment that you already left, informing us that we were wrong.
Also, something I didn't know is there are going to be 4 Brawl decks for Thrones of Eldraine.
Yes. Ooh. They said that they're
released
actually...
on paper?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Ooh. All right, so they are still trying to push the format. Good for you, Wizards. I think there is something there with Brawl. I've had fun the little that I've played with it.
I mean, it seems like it's sort of Oathbreaker has kind of is kind of in that same area, and sort of trying to fill the same that kind of we like playing Commander, but we want it a little bit faster and sort of easier.
Or just a little different, right?
Yeah.
I just know that every time someone on the subreddit was like, well, Wizards doesn't even care about Brawl anymore, Gavin Verhey would sort of pop into the thread and be like, but that's not true.
Right.
Without being able to be like, because they've said that they have taken Brawl into consideration when designing sets since that announcement. You know, you know, now with this like big push, which obviously Gavin knew about, you know, people being like, yeah, well, Wizards doesn't care about Brawl, and he has to be like, I don't think that's strictly the case.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm excited to see that. And then, are you familiar with the new format? Pardon me, format that they're introducing.
Right. So there's going to be Arena.
It's called
Modern, right?
Arena Extended.
It's called Historic.
Historic, right. We
Yeah.
can talk about Historic a little bit.
So,
actually,
yeah.
Sorry, just before that, you mentioned Wizards was coming out with Brawl decks. I just wanted to give a shout out to Anya Voldarin.
Okay.
Spoiler from Commander 19.
Oh,
enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just hi.
They announced
This is a haste Rakdos Looter, right?
Yes.
So
Or
three mana?
Rummager. Yeah.
Rummager, yeah. 3 mana, 1/4 haste with tap, discard a card and draw a card.
Yep.
And
And
if
if
the
that
card-
card has Madness, you untap her.
Okay,
And that's all I wanted to say. I was just like, hi.
cool.
Yeah, they announced the commanders for the upcoming commander decks. By the time you hear this, actually, so this
The
comes
whole set
out.
will be spoiled or
This
something, right?
No, this comes out on Monday, so there's going to be a whole deck spoiled. We could actually, because this comes out on Monday, doesn't it?
Are we doing our preview card right now?
We could actually talk about our preview card.
We could do it.
We could, yeah. I
Fair
forgot
enough.
about that.
You've already watched our other video for our preview card, or maybe this is us spoiling it right now.
1 second. I'm actually going to send it to Paul because it's a reprint, but it has new art.
Ooh, we're gonna look at some new art.
So we'll come back to that
Okay.
a little later in this episode because it'll take a sec for this all to get working.
So-
I forgot that the timing worked out such that we could actually do this.
Oh, so Historic. Do you want to talk about that for a second? Or?
Yeah, so when Throne of Eldraine comes out in the fall, that means that Standard will rotate, and we will drop M19,
Dominaria.
Dominaria,
Excellent.
and Ixalan block. But those cards are all still on Arena, and so the question had been coming up for a while, sort of like this elephant that was getting closer and closer to the room of what do we do on Arena with all these cards in our collections because now they're going to be useless. And so basically they were like, well, we're going to do what everyone assumed we were going to do, which is introduce a new format. So Standard is still Standard, and Historic is everything that's on Arena. It's whatever you can get on Arena. And now previous sets have been coded into Arena because if you were playing during previous iterations of the beta, Amonkhet and Kaladesh
Blocks.
worked on Arena. They functioned,
Right.
and they said for now we're not going to bring those back because we've looked at what Historic will be, and we think that that's as a format that will be healthy as is, but we'll reevaluate, and maybe at some point in the future we will sort of backfill some sets, but for now it's going to just be when Throne of Eldraine comes out, it's going to be everything that is currently on Arena will be the Historic format, and that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, for the first few months, it won't even be that much different from Standard. It'll just be the Standard you're playing now
plus
with Throne of Eldraine.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean,
This-
yeah. It's nice to see that being a thing that will be in consideration as Arena matures.
Right. And have they let us know whether Historic will have a ladder? Is it going to be a separate ladder, or will it just have an event? Or if it'll just be you can build a deck, and sometimes it'll be the free option every other week. I
don't know.
think they made an announcement like this, but I can't remember.
So right now, the way that Arena functions is you've got 2 ranks. You've got Constructed and Limited. And Limited technically encompasses Draft and Sealed, except that Sealed doesn't actually, you don't rank up in Sealed. You only rank up playing Ranked Draft. And Constructed, you only rank up playing the Ranked Standard. So yeah, we don't actually know. I assume when Historic comes out that by default, games of Historic won't actually affect your rank, and maybe they'll do like a ranked Historic event, maybe. But this is just pure speculation.
I think what makes sense is to either make it the occasional weekly thing with like a bonus glass portrait prize or whatever, and then just keep a 500 coin buy-in queue or whatever where you play until you get 2 losses and you can play Historic, and
yeah,
that makes sense to me. I don't know if they've said that's what they're going to do, but
the current also the current Chronicles events things that they're doing again. One for M20. So they did those 5 events for War of the Spark that you sort of earn. They were free to enter. You could play as many times as you want until you reach a threshold of wins, and then you got prizes, and that's how they were giving away the stained glass art styles for some of the planeswalkers. And the feedback that they got was that they were a lot. Like it was, you were really bashing your head against those sometimes. And so this time the stakes are lower, but the wins are lower. So now it's free to enter. It's 6 wins, and if you get 6 wins, then you unlock the card style of one of the John Avon unhinged full art lands, which is pretty dope. So
yeah,
I did that last week. It took me some number of hours, but I got the forest, and it looks sweet. So I'm happy about that.
Nice. Yeah, I'll happily do those chores.
Yeah, exactly. It's I mean, it was fun. Those were using pre-con decks too, which was neat. So you just be like, oh, I'll play this guild. You know, they were based on the guild, so I was like, I'll play Orzhov. Great, and it was fun.
Yeah, I think I got there in about 10 games with the Azoria stack.
Yeah.
So, skill.
For doing so well in Orzhov, here's a forest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then it automatically...
It owes you money. Yeah.
Then I went and did a ranked draft, and it automatically... I happened to be I was in green-black, and it automatically was like, you want to use these forests. And I thought, yes, I do.
These we know these are the best ones.
Yeah.
The ones I earned, yes.
So yeah, I guess let's touch briefly on Commander before we move on from there. So there's 4 Commander decks. The mechanics for which the headlining mechanic for which was leaked a little while ago and then confirmed by Wizards that it was populate, madness, morph, and
Flashback.
Flashback. Thank you. And they revealed the commanders last week. So can we look at those first?
Yep.
Great. Cool. Well, let's look at the one that Cam mentioned, the one from the Madness deck.
Yes.
Which is a new member of the Voldaren family.
I believe she has appeared in the fiction before, but since I don't follow it that closely, I'm going to have to just trust people I've seen about this.
Which one's that?
Anya Voldaren.
Is it Falconwrath or Voldaren?
I thought it was Voldaren.
She's a vampire anyway. She's a red-black vampire, for sure.
There is a Falconwrath.
Falconwrath.
Anya
Falconwrath.
Falconwrath.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Not
my
Voldaren.
bad. Wow, that's embarrassing.
She's coming for you now. Yeah.
I guess I just mentally transpose the card that I'm going to be playing with this, which is Voldaren Pariah.
Right. Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
All I want to do is turn. It would have to be turn 6.
Yeah. So
with God mana.
1 black red for a 1/3 legendary vampire with haste. Tap, discard a card, draw a card, and whenever you discard a card, if it has madness, untap Anya Falconwrath. Very, very cool.
I wish she had blue in her color identity, but you can't have everything.
Yeah.
You can't have everything, I guess.
Let's take a look at the populate.
So this one's Naya.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, G-hired?
Gired?
I'm
not sure how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
I think, Gired Conclave Exile with his friends, the giant rhinoceroses. So 2 red, green, white for a 2/5 legendary human shaman. When Gired enters the battlefield, create a 4/4 green rhino with trample. And whenever Gired attacks, populate. The token enters the battlefield tapped and attacking.
Toot toot.
That seems very cool.
Yep.
I like that a lot.
Beep beep.
Yeah. The flashback commander.
So populate is you get another of
a token you already have.
It's not every token you already have.
1. This was the Return to Ravnica Selesnya mechanic.
So theoretically, if you've got something better than the Rhinoceros, that would also be tapped and attacking.
Yep.
The saddest day is when he attacks and the Rhinoceros is already dead, so he's got nothing to populate.
I make a bird.
Or a worm.
Or a treasure.
Or a treasure.
Oh yeah, can populate non-creature tokens? It's only creatures.
Oh, okay.
I think it says in the reminder text there. That'd be
populate
nice.
this monarch token.
Just populate my Ethereum cells.
That'd be good.
Nothing Naya wants to do more than make artifacts.
Exactly.
So the flashback one, the one that's not a Naga. I don't know their names
human
yet.
wizard.
Yeah.
There we go.
Savine.
Savine the Chronoclasm. 2 blue, red, white for a 2/2 legendary human wizard. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to Savine, so that's exciting. And whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery from your graveyard each turn, copy that spell, you may choose new targets for the copy. Holy moly.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Holy moly.
Seems
Just
fun.
why not?
I feel like Teferi is just like, could you not?
You know, this is kind of my thing.
Yeah.
I feel that I'm being kind of, no, okay, goodbye.
Yeah.
Right.
And the fourth deck, the Morph one, with Cadena, Slinking Sorcerer, 1 black, green, blue. Just that mana cost excites me. For a legendary Naga wizard, she's a 3/3. That's largely irrelevant, because what's important is this text. The first face-down creature spell you cast each turn costs 3 less. Yeah, your first morph is free.
Nice.
Every turn. Free. You just put it into play. Oh, but wait, there's more. Whenever a face-down creature enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. That's ludicrous.
Looks fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're playing a Morph commander deck, so I feel like already you're kind of like...
It's always Willbender.
Good old Willbender. I wonder if Willbender's going to be in the
every
deck. So the way that the preview season is going for Commander is it's 4 days long. And every day at 3 p.m., the command zone is going to spoil the fullest extent of the deck. But we can tell you what one of the cards in Cadena's Morph deck is going to be before then. It's a reprint, but it's got some pretty fancy new art. Yes, it's our old friend, Bane of the Living. Ooh. 2 black for a 4/3 insect with Morph. The flip-up cost is X black, and when it is turned face up, all creatures get -X until end of turn. The new art looks like one of those ocean, the giant ocean lice.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they're called, but with its tummy is faces.
Yeah, it's all just faces.
Oh god,
inside.
I didn't even see the faces yet. I was already grossed out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really upsetting.
Yeah.
It's almost a bane.
Bane of the Living's kind of a sweet card. It's shown up occasionally in Highlander decks. It's sort of a rare breed of creatures that also wrath, right? Like False Prophet is one of them. This one has like a pretty cool like second mode where you can just maybe pay 4 and it survives and then it gets on beatdown duty.
Yeah.
Just clear out some enemy tokens or whatever.
Because if you do 5, it kills itself.
Yeah, or higher. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But sometimes you got to do that. But,
yeah.
But yeah, being in a situation where it now that would also when X is 2, it would also wipe out any unmorphed morphs you have.
Right.
So or morphed morphs, are they morphed when they're? Is a morph creature morphed when it's face down or face up?
I no longer know what the word morph means.
Yeah.
What
Your
if you
question spans back to the beginning of life itself?
Spin it around the other way. Anyway, so yeah, Bane of the Living is going to be in the Cadena Commander deck, so that'll be pretty exciting.
Yeah,
It's always sort of fun. Like I think this is probably the first time Bane of the Living's been reprinted? ?
That I can think of.
Previously, he was in Commander 2016.
Oh, okay, cool.
And Legions was where he first showed up.
Legions, yeah. So it's interesting seeing
That's what he used to look like.
what does so similar. Oh, it's actually the same. It's a big insect with faces in its tongue.
I didn't notice the faces there before either. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't notice them either until now because I was only looking because of this.
Because they were like, but then they were like, we really need a better view of those faces. Let's get it right a head-on view of those faces.
I assume the faces are there because anyone who saw this thing coming was like, "Oh, I'm just going to go in head first, so I don't have to deal with this for too long."
Yeah, just
or maybe it just woke up and it had been sleeping on a whole bunch of dead bodies. And so they're all
they're not really faces.
They're imprinted in its stomach.
Yeah. That's just like the couch, like it's the lines across
wake
your
up
face
and what's up? This is the Bane of the Living's real.
Don't worry, everybody. It's
Don't talk to me before I've had my coffee.
It's just because it's a still painting. Things aren't really as bad as they seem.
Yeah.
He just lives on a face-shaped rock.
No, those are his tats.
Right.
Oh, sick tats.
He's got a sleeve done.
I got this one when I killed a guy. I got this one when I killed a guy. I got okay, we get it. Thanks.
To tell you the truth, they're pretty much all when I killed the guy.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm curious to see what new morph creatures this deck brings. But the fact that Bane of the Living is in it is pretty interesting. Oh, is this also spoiled?
Yes, this one got spoiled.
Cool. So Kadena's Silencer is also from that deck. It's another Naga Wizard, 1 and a blue for a 2/1, and it has Megamorph. So that's cool to know that they're going to have Morph and Megamorph in the deck. The Megamorph is 1 and a blue. A reminder that Megamorph is you turn it face up, and it also gets a +1/+1 counter. And then when it's turned face up, counter all abilities your opponents control. Abilities.
So Planeswalker activations. You can use this to stifle a fetch land. Right?
Triggers, any triggers from like a beginning of your upkeep, draw a card kind of thing.
Were you not able to block an Umezawa's Jit?
Oh yeah, the counters going on the GT.
That's right, counters going on the GT.
Oh man. Yeah. All right.
Some cards are just an ability entirely. You know, Spine of Ishsaw. You could just counter the ability to destroy a permanent.
The spine.
Or you know, Planeswalker's ultimate.
Yep.
You know, after they put the Planeswalker in the graveyard and they've got this powerful give me an emblem ability, you can counter that.
It's the Cadena Silencer just pops up and goes shh.
And hey, you've also got a 3/2 now.
Yeah. So, okay, so we joke, and Paul already put the art, for those only listening, Paul already put the art up. You know, we joke about it's always Willbender. Right? I feel like the existence of Kadena's Silencer says that Willbender will not be in this deck.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a good guess.
I think they cover similar enough ground.
Also, now we have to worry that it's either Silencer or Willbender.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah, it's like a second Willbender you need to worry about.
It's only 2
in Highlander decks.
It's only 2 to Megamorph it.
I think Willbender's also only 2 or 1. Is it Willbender only 1?
I think it's 2.
He had Willbender up. It's cheap, yeah.
But
cheap,
yeah, it's just that's not expensive.
No.
I will always treasure the memory that I actually of the time we were drafting Cube. I think with a fan at Moonbase Mark III.
Oh yeah, that was that IMAT's Powered Cube?
It might have been, yes.
Yeah.
And I got to Willbender a Mind Twist.
Oh,
no, you didn't.
That must have felt good.
Oh yeah, I still lost the game, but what a moral victory! What a I mean, how do you lose a game after you Willbender a Mind Twist?
Fairly easily, really.
Yeah, really. I mean, like
just flood out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they spoiled the 4 commanders, and they also spoiled each of their
their friends.
Each of their signature spells.
Signature spells, essentially. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go through those quickly. Gired's Belligerence is X red for a sorcery with a giant angry boar, and the Belligerence deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures. And whenever a creature dealt damage this way dies this turn, populate. Holy crap!
Okay.
Neat.
Yeah.
So if you kill 3 creatures, you get to populate 3 times.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the flashback one.
Savine's Reclamation is 2 and a white for a sorcery. Return target permanent with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. If this spell was cast from the graveyard, you may copy this spell and may choose a new target for the copy. And the flashback is 4 and a white. So it does... This spell, when you flash it back, does Savine's ability anyway.
Right.
So if you flash this back with Savine in play, you copy it twice.
Yeah, you get to return 3 permanents.
3 permanents, not 2.
Cool. Good.
Right, because
also good with fetch lands.
Because the copy is not cast. So it's not like some weird loop.
No.
I don't think it does 4.
No.
If my rules on copy effects.
No, it just says you may copy. There's different wording depending on casting copies and but no, this is just okay. That's cool. And then Anya's Ravager is 2 and a red for a 3/3 Vampire Berserker. Attacks each combat if able. Whenever it attacks, discard your hand, then draw 3 cards. And it has Madness for a mere 1 and a red.
And it's another Madness enabler.
Yep.
Yeah. That seems
good.
Also very powerful.
Yes.
Obvious. This seems very obvious as a thing that should happen, but I appreciate that each of the commander's sort of signature spells, as I guess we call them, uses the keyword. It's like, yes, obviously, but it's nice when the things that we think, sometimes the thing that you think should happen is good when it happens.
Yeah, and Commander seems to be this format about getting to do the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, neat.
Seedborn Muse is the other one that got spoiled, but that's not a new card.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right, yeah, Seaborn Muse, it's a reprint, 3 green for 2/4 spirit, untap all permanents you control during each other player's untap step.
Which, of course, in Commander is dumb.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting that they
banned the other one of these,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Profit accrue fix.
Profit accrue fix,
But
yeah.
that also gave all your creatures flash.
Right.
So all you need with this is Vidalcan Orrery.
There you go. And you can build your own.
Somewhere Josh is salivating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Okay,
yeah.
so we talked about Commander a little bit.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about Arena anymore? Do we have any other thoughts?
What else?
I just can't wait to draft with my friends. That's what I want to get
friends
there.
list and matchmaking.
Yeah, and also
Or not matchmaking, custom matches.
Yeah, and just friends list would be nice, and like real person drafts. I feel like they told us when they introduced the bots draft, there was an article about how there was before the bot draft, it was like the devs had an arena or a draft queue that you could join, and you could wait a little while for someone else who's playing in the office to join, and then you could just hit fill up with bots. And what they delivered to the players is just like you just jump in and it automatically fills it up with 7 bots.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, I don't know, there's so many people playing Arena right now. Like, what would the wait times be if I wanted to draft with 7 other humans on an M20 rank draft right now? I can't imagine it would be 10 minutes.
The bots can't be easy to program, but they still... there's some unreasonable decks that you wind up with.
I just want to play with other people. Like, I just want the experience, even regardless if it's better or worse or whatever. You know? And I wouldn't mind if then I'm just still playing games with everybody. Like, that's what we've got in MTGO, and I find it like still fairly. It's a good middle ground.
Yeah. Don't take the option away, because I really like that the bot drafts are the actual draft is untimed.
Yeah, that part's good.
I like being able to just sit down and just jam through whatever, and then get on to playing the games against the humans. But yeah, it'd be good, and I believe they do still intend to deliver that. But I think it would be good to have real player draft eventually, please. Probably, I assume for the best of 3 queues. Right?
Yeah, I guess that makes the most sense.
Keep the best of ones as the more streamlined.
Yeah.
Just like sit down, fire it off, do whatever. And
it's also traditional to play against humans.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So if you're going to call it the traditional draft, you may as well keep every part of it traditional.
Yeah, maybe that makes the most sense. Cool.
I wonder if they. So I was gonna be like, I wonder if they would add, for example, the Commander precons to Arena, but no, because it doesn't really work without multiplayer, and I don't know that there's a good way to do a multiplayer interface.
Yeah, I mean there wasn't Modern Horizons on Arena. I don't think they're planning on bringing any of the supplemental sets.
I don't think so either. No,
just the booster pack sets, as far as I know. And there's also been a few Arena extra cards.
Right, yeah. I forgot about those. Sometimes I see them very, very rarely. I see them in like just if I finish a draft and I'm like 2 blue spells away from finishing one of the dailies, I'll just jump into like play for free with whatever deck queue with just the precons that the game gives you. And sometimes when I'm in those, I'll see a card that my opponent casts that I've never seen before in my life, and I'm like, what is that? Where is it from? And it's one of the ones that's just like unique to Arena, and it's like, oh yeah, I forgot that they have those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know. The cosmetic stuff looks good. And the experience in play has still been really smooth. I just like it to feel closer to the game that got me hooked initially, because I kind of like came to Arena being like, oh yeah, this is Magic, and then after a year I've kind of felt like, well, almost.
Yeah.
Right? Well, you're drafting, and like we talked about with these bots, it's like, okay, yeah, I really shouldn't have gotten this 10th. This feels wrong, right? Like this.
I also feel like this is kind of unrelated to that, but like I was playing in the Rivals event, which was a lot. I don't play a lot of Standard, but I have jammed occasional games of Standard.
Yeah, what deck did you play?
The Dread Horde deck.
That's cool. 6 mana, bring back all your stuff, and then gain life off Wildgrowth Walkers. Cool.
Yeah, I mean it's a little goofy, but it's kind of off meta.
Okay.
And it was able to take games off people, even though I lost all my matches.
Okay.
Basically, but like there are some decks in Standard right now that I would not be able to play in paper.
Oh, okay. Just too many triggers or whatever.
Yeah, the Awoken Reef deck.
Okay.
Or not the Awoken Reef, the
Risen Reef.
Risen Reef.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reefer Madness. It just like play a card, 12 triggers.
Right.
Oh, yeah, right. So you're like, okay, I'm playing this. Hold on. I need to figure out my life.
Yeah, like, okay, this untaps 4 things, and okay, this gets a bonus, and then I draw this many cards, but I reveal this many cards first to like look at, and I'm just like, I'm glad Arena is here to mediate this process, because otherwise I would be completely lost. But then again, there are people who just play elves, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, just tell me what everything is. And they're like, they're all 14/14s except for this one, which is a 37/37. And I'm like, okay, cool. Am I dead? And they're like, I think so. And I'm like, oh, yeah, sure.
Math is for blockers.
Okay, cool. I'll go get a milkshake. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I think that like it's good to use the digital games to help you learn how the rules for the regular paper game works. And
I got way better at that after
Yeah.
I started playing Magic Online, because
Yes.
it stops and asks you all the steps and all the phases, and you're like, oh, okay, I actually understand how this all works now.
I remember dealing with one of the old white archer cards.
Okay.
Right, the ones where you tap to do 2 damage to
An attacker, right?
a tapped creature, right, or an attacker. And I remember playing Magic Online and being like, "Oh wait, I've blocked with this thing, and now I can activate its ability." I didn't know that was this. You know,
Or like the it's like Lightning Crew or whatever, where I think it's from Ixalan that it untaps when you cast
a pirate.
and so it's like, cast this. Oh wait,
Ping you.
Holding priority, tap this. Now it untap, because you can tap it in response to its Lightning Rig Crew. Whenever you cast a pirate spell, untap it. You can tap it in response to its own untap trigger. If you've forgotten to do it.
yes,
And so, you can be like, do this, trigger, oh yeah, tap it.
yeah,
That trigger result,
I've done that with Blasting Station in Highlander.
Yeah,
Right,
and
paper, right?
before playing that sort of thing on Magic Online, I would just sort of assume, oh, I guess I missed my shot there.
Right.
But no. So that's neat.
Yeah, and like it's okay to make visual aids, because like you're mentioning like playing the Awoken or the Risen Reef deck on Arena. It's like it shows you all the triggers from every time, like you put 3 elementals into play or whatever, right?
It is
And
interesting.
It shows you on the stack, and you can just make your own tokens and like make a stack of triggered abilities
Okay,
if you want. I mean, I'm not saying
No, that's interesting, actually.
Yeah, I've done it.
I do wonder though if, and we'll be wrapping up momentarily, but I do wonder if the way that Arena streamlines gameplay, which I think is good and correct and what it needs to do to be a competitive digital game in 2019. I wonder if that is having almost the opposite effect, that if someone who's only played on Arena, they go to their F&M and their opponent, I wonder if they're going to encounter situations where the opponent is like, actually, I'm doing something before, because as an example, attacking and then doing something after you've declared your attackers, but before your opponent declares blockers, because you can hold your priority there.
Yeah.
And that is a step that Arena breezes through.
Yeah, you can full control to get it.
Yeah,
but yeah,
you can unless you activate full control. As soon as you declare your attackers, Arena immediately passes to your opponent's blockers.
Yeah.
And so being able to be like, I do this, hold on, now this happens. For someone who's only used to Arena, they might be like, well, wait, no, it goes right to my blockers. What are you talking about? You know,
Right.
I wonder if the streamlining is introducing any situations where it's actually something that might lead to bad feels if it's actually giving people the wrong lessons.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I think playing a lot of Arena has probably made me a sloppier player in a lot of ways, because I'm used to now the client doing things like not letting me skip through my second main phase, right?
Yeah.
Or getting reminders about things, right? Like the classic thing about there's a classic Highlander counterspell, Arcane Denial.
Sure. Yeah.
I want to say.
Yeah, Arcane Denial is like your upkeep, draw 2.
Yeah. Right. Where this card isn't an Arena, but this kind of effect where you don't get a reminder about it.
Yeah.
Right? I guess the pacts are also good examples.
All the slow trips too, like Portent, anything that tells you to draw a card on your opponent's next upkeep or whatever. Yeah.
But I'm like also fully prepared to just die to my own pact of negation.
Right. In paper,
Yeah, in paper, because in Magic Online you get a reminder.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, hey, do you want to pay for this? And I'm like, Yes, I would.
Probably should.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas in paper, it's you draw the card, and your opponent's like, okay, GG then.
Yeah, game 3.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, right. Whoops.
Right.
So, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes both ways. It has to do with learning styles. So it's like, that's one of the. It's a drawback certainly of Arena, and I think it'd be great if we could get, Arena to have like all the functionality and customizability of Magic Online while still looking as sleek as it is, and like that's obviously a puzzle,
right?
And they are working on it clearly. Like, you can press full control. What you still can't F6. It tries to trick you into thinking you can F6 because there's an F6 button.
Yeah.
Versus like pass your whole turn, and that still doesn't work at all.
Yeah.
Right.
It passes through certain things, but it will still ask. Which, to be fair, has saved my ass a couple times. But it'll be like, hey, I'm just double checking that you're okay with this particular ability happening, and I'm like, what the? Oh, no, actually, I do have a response to that. Or other times I'm like, yes, I said pass.
Right.
Pass the. Yes, I said that.
I've only had the second experience.
Okay.
Most recently, I was just like, okay, this game's like taking a while. Pass, and then immediately my opponent's like activate Soul Mender in the game. It's like he's going to gain 1 life.
Holy crap!
Is that okay?
You have cards in hand that have instant abilities.
That's right. I could have gained 1 life in response, but I didn't want to.
That's why I hate resolving. I'll play it every white deck I'm in, but Moorland Inquisitor. It's just like every single time I have priority, the game's like, yo, you want to give this bro first strike? And I'm like, no, I don't. Okay, I'm going to ask you again in one step.
He just needs 3 mana, and then his axe gets faster.
Yeah.
Okay, we're low on time. We're almost completely out of time.
Yeah.
I did offer to talk about this, so in 1 minute, I would like to talk about how to be a great LGS player.
All right.
Okay. Basically, be polite, be respectful of the other players there. Remember, it's a public space. And then also, everyone's pretended to call a judge enough times by now. It's going to be a new era in Judge Academy and judging moving forward, and I'm hoping to bring the players into a new era of not calling the judge for fun. Now, probably having said this now, all over the world, everyone's going to pretend to call the judges. I'm sorry, I tried.
False judge calls.
Yeah, the false judge call. I'm just so tired of it. That's my own personal pet peeve.
Oh, like when something cool happens and someone goes, oh, judge.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? And they're like, oh, no, I just said it for memes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't meme on the judges.
Yeah.
Within reason.
Yeah. I just think it's a good time to just like bring up like being at an LGS, because I think a lot of us have like been in front of our computers playing Arena for the past year or more, but it's like we're all kind of going back because by now everyone's remembering, it's like, oh yeah, I played this game in paper for a reason. So yeah, it's just like, it's Magic the Gathering, so keep that in mind. Everyone's gathering, everyone's bringing something different, but everyone's there to have fun. So like, try to let other people have fun and try to make sure you have fun too.
Don't do what you do in my experience in Arena, which is GG your opponent on every one of your plays.
Oh my god, it's so. Ugh.
Yeah, make sure you don't do that.
Yeah,
that's not great for them.
Don't spam emotes IRL.
Yeah.
All right,
we could come back to this topic too. Thank you.
That's no problem at all. That is gonna do it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining us and listening. A reminder that this show is brought to you by Card Kingdom. Check out cardkingdom.com/LRR. Tell them Loading Ready Run sent you. Button, please, and they'll give you a little 1-inch button. I'm not sure which one it says right now. There are more in production, but I think they're still on a Kingdom of Cards. Maybe by the time you hear this, they will have gotten the new batch.
Card Kingdom.
We'll find out.
Our slogan isn't a Kingdom of Cards.
Card Kingdom, a clean, well-lit place to hold priority.
Yeah. And this show and everything we do is brought to you by you, either by supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, or by joining us here on YouTube as a YouTube membership. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk to you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.